So I'm walking down the street here on Rossmore Avenue, heading up about a block or so to the very famous former apartment building of actress Mae West. So that's why I was coming here today. And then I just happened to notice this plaque here. Well, first I noticed this really beautiful Art Deco-y, Art Moderne building. And I thought, wow, that's really cool. And then I just happened to notice this plaque and read it and discovered that it was originally built for actor Jack Haley, the Tin Man, on The Wizard of Oz. So it's very likely, well, this was 1934, The Wizard of Oz was 1939, so this was after he completed The Wizard of Oz, but just by a few years. So he lived here, and then apparently this was also the home of President John F. Kennedy. Now, I happen to be here on President's Day, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to upload this in time, but this is just a happy accident. I just happen to be walking by and happen to see it. The plaque reads, "The Mauretania, original modern Art Deco, built in 1934 by Milton J. Black architect for Jack Haley, the Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz, Los Angeles residence of President John F. Kennedy, home to many of LA's illustrious stars and families, owned at one time by the Amundsen family, part of the preservation of Rossmore Avenue in the Larchmont area, and Windsor Square, Hancock Park Historical Society." It's located in the historic Hancock Park neighborhood, and Rossmoor Avenue turns into the famous Vine Street just a few blocks north of here. Haley and his wife Flo lived in the penthouse of this 10-unit apartment building from 1934 to 1954. This was back in the good old days when movie stars lived in regular homes and apartments all around the Hollywood area with no security, with their telephone numbers and addresses listed in the phone books. Boy, how times have changed, right? In 1960, John F. Kennedy was running for president, and the Democratic National Convention was held in downtown Los Angeles at the Sports Arena. Instead of staying in a hotel, Kennedy decided to stay here in Jack Haley's former penthouse, presumably since he would have more privacy than he would in a hotel, and probably to avoid a little bit of the spotlight. But of course, the press tracked him down here, and there's even this photo of him sitting on the stairs that lead up to the penthouse suite. According to news reports, he was here in this penthouse when he learned that he had won the nomination at the convention to be the Democratic candidate for President of the United States. The plaque at the front of the building says that this was the Los Angeles residence of President John F. Kennedy, and not that he was a guest or that he just stayed here during the convention. So it does make me wonder if this was his private West Coast residence when he was here in Los Angeles. All of his Hollywood celebrity friends live nearby, so it wouldn't be a surprise at all to learn that he did spend more time here. If any of you happen to know any more about JFK's residency and history here, please share with us in the comments down below. So everyone's out walking their little dogs today. All right, so here's another angle from directly across the street. I didn't really think I'd run into anyone out here on the street today, but I guess it's a Sunday, and it's a beautiful sunny Sunday, blue skies. Art Deco and modern architecture is so unusual to see here in Los Angeles, but that's one of the fun things about exploring all the different neighborhoods. It's a bit like a treasure hunt, and you just never know what you're going to find. And here's just another angle to give you a better idea of what the property looks like from different perspectives. In 1934, I'm pretty sure this street was a lot quieter, but that's progress for you. And the penthouse seems to be in the back, so it's still probably pretty quiet. And I'm sure there's a lot less traffic at night when you're trying to sleep. Now, I'm guessing that just to the right of the Mauretania, there was probably once a very beautiful and historic apartment building that has now been replaced by this more generic, newer building, which is kind of sad. But at least some of the older structures from the golden age of Hollywood are still here. And just 3 doors south of the Mauretania is another historic apartment building famous for its famous residents. When I arrived, I parked on Rosewood Avenue in the residential neighborhood just 1 block east of here. And of course, this beautiful historic structure on the corner of Rosewood and Rossmoor really grabbed my attention. The name on top of the building is the El Royale, and it immediately sounded very familiar. So I Googled it and couldn't believe what I had accidentally discovered. This luxury apartment building is just as famous, or maybe even more famous, than Mae West's Ravenswood Apartments and the Mauretania. Does the front of this building look familiar to any of you? The exterior has been used in TV shows such as All of Us and Girlfriends, just to mention a couple of recent shows, and it's also appeared in many movies over the years, including the 1944 classic Double Indemnity that featured a scene filmed in the parking garage. This LA landmark was designed by William Douglas Lee, the same architect who designed the famous Chateau Marmont Hotel up on Sunset Boulevard. The chateau has also appeared in many movies and TV shows over the years, and sadly was also where actor and comedian John Belushi died. Both buildings were opened in 1929. Since the Jazz Age, famous celebrity tenants like Nicolas Cage, Huell Howser, Al Jolson, George Raft, Jack Black, Ellen Page, Katie Holmes, Josh Brolin, Clark Gable, Loretta Young, William Faulkner, Cameron Diaz, Ben Stiller, Uma Thurman, and many others have reportedly all called the El Royale home. So let's go across the street and see if there's anything to see, like an historic plaque or marker or something like that. And it looks like there's also a lot of interesting architectural details that you really can't see from across the street. Look at all the beautiful details on the facade here. You just don't find artistry and craftsmanship like this in buildings anymore. I'm going to walk up here and see if I can take a peek inside the lobby. It really feels as if I've stepped into a movie set, one set back in old Hollywood during its heyday. Older buildings like this really are like time machines. And peeking through the window here, it looks like the lobby has hardly changed since it first opened back in 1929. Many of the apartment buildings themselves, though, have changed dramatically. They've been renovated and updated to include all of the latest modern appliances and conveniences. If you're interested in seeing what some of the interiors look like, just search the luxury rental websites online, and I think you'll be very surprised to see what they look like today. Looks like the parking garage is underneath. This week I'd like to give a shout out and a very big thank you to my newest Patreon supporters, William and DJ Pridden. Thank you, William and DJ, for your extra generous donations to my channel. They are very much appreciated and definitely do help make future trips like this possible. A couple of you have also donated anonymously and have asked me not to mention your name, but I still want to give you a shout out and a thank you. You know who you are. So let me know if you'd like to see more videos like this where I visit historic apartment buildings. Even though so many have been torn down over the years, we still do have quite a few. And it looks like someone's coming into the parking garage. So if you enjoyed today's video and would like to see more, make sure and subscribe so you'll be notified every time I upload a video. I upload at least one a week, but once in a while I also add an extra one or two. If I have time, I try to upload 2 a week. So my schedule's not always predictable, so if you subscribe, then you'll always be notified when I upload a new video and you won't miss any of them. So until next time, thanks for sharing the memories, everybody.